What if your dynasty didn't start with 5 stars, but with grit? What if your home was not a cathedral of college football, but a battleground for respect? In the heart of Murfreesboro, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders are done being overlooked. No tradition, we'll build it. No spotlight, we'll take it. This isn't a rebuild, this is a reckoning. And it starts right now. Welcome to the Middle Tennessee Dynasty. Let's shock the world. Middle Tennessee isn't exactly known as a factory for NFL talent. In over a century of football, the Blue Raiders have sent just 34 players to the pros, with only 7 still being active, including names like Kevin Byard, Shavarius Ward, and Reed Blankenship. And while the Blue Raiders have tasted some success, with 13 conference titles in program history, the last of which came back in 2006 in the Sun Belt, consistent dominance has been out of reach. Between 2006 and 2022, they were a regular in bowl season under longtime coach Rick Stockstill, but more recently, things have hit rock bottom. Coming off of a miserable 3-9 campaign in 2024, ranking near the bottom of the country in almost every major category, Middle Tennessee made the call to move on from head coach Derek Mason after just 1 year. The administration wanted a culture shift. They wanted toughness, and they found it in a rising star with a championship pedigree, Isaiah Kegler. A former Baltimore State middle linebacker and a key leader in their first ever FBS national title run, Kegler transitioned from the field to the headset, most recently running one of the nastiest defenses in the FCS at Montana State. Now Kegler takes over in Murfreesboro with a clear mandate: build a bully, dominate Conference USA, and put Middle Tennessee on the national map. That's going to be easier said than done, especially at the beginning, as there are not a lot of talented players on this team that aren't seniors. Free safety John House is the highest overall player at 83 overall, but he's a redshirt senior, so he won't be coming back next season. But there are some good players on offense who will be coming back next season, including running backs Ricky Hunt Jr., Jaden Credell, and Jacale Middlebrook. We do have a few developmental players on defense, including defensive tackle Shakai Woods and left edge rusher Anthony Bynum. However, we will have to replace our starting quarterback, as Nicholas Vadiano is a redshirt senior, and the 2 backups are Roman Gagliano and Stanley Anderson Lofton, both who are not very good quarterbacks, to be completely honest. And out of our top 4 receivers, only redshirt sophomore Cameron Lacey will have a future on this team, as the other 3 are seniors. We do have some good depth at tight end as far as youth goes, as Connor Doherty will be the starter with the number 54. I thought he was a linebacker, to be completely honest with you. But no, he's a starting tight end. He's a redshirt junior. Our starting offensive line is kind of gross. We do have a true sophomore in Zach Clayton, a left tackle, but not one of these players is over a 76 overall, so good luck to Vadiano this year. One notable player at will linebacker is Moaz Byard, who, yes indeed, is the younger brother of NFL player Kevin Byard. And obviously Middle Tennessee State isn't going to be ranked in their first season. That just wouldn't make any sense if we're being completely honest, because they went 3-9 last year. But it's certainly something we can aspire to moving forward. Obviously nobody in the Heisman Trophy race. Nobody is an All-American on this team either, obviously. We do have a few All-Conference USA players in the preseason, though, as you see Jacale Middlebrook, Anthony Bynum, and Shakai Woods on this list. And for second team, we have Vadiano and Credell, as well as John House on the list. Looking at the schedule, and we start off easy with FCS Southeast, but then we have a tough task in Wisconsin. Then we take on Nevada and Marshall, as that's our out-of-conference schedule. Non-conference schedule, whatever you want to call it. And we do take on some newbies in Missouri State and Delaware as part of our Conference USA schedule. As far as the upgrades for Isaiah Kegler, I did focus on putting him on passing game just because I want to make our quarterbacks a little bit better. And then I also went to secondary first and then linebacker. Linebacker definitely was one of the first ones I was going to do because Kegler was a linebacker for my Baltimore State dynasty. And I put the last one on D-line, so a lot of focus on defense with his points. Didn't show you guys earlier, but I did pick the motivator archetype for him. As far as recruiting goes, I'm not putting any limits on myself, at least for the first season. They're saying that it's harder to go after certain players in recruiting this year, so I'm just going to let it ride with this. But if there are restrictions that you think I maybe should put into the Dynasty, then please let me know in the comment section below. Also, I am going to allow subscribers to claim players as well. I'll actually be posting a template in the comment section, so let me know what positions you want to play, what you want your player to be named, and I'm not going to change anything about their height. I don't think I can change their skin tone or anything like that in this game, although I guess we'll find out later on. But you'll see the template down below, so if you want to claim a player that we get in recruiting, you can do so in the comment section below. So we already have people who want to transfer away from Middle Tennessee, which I don't really blame them for because this school's been so bad for the past couple of seasons, but Coach Kegler's going to look to try to turn this around. But in the meantime, let's get the first season started with the game against FCS Southeast. And apparently they're called the Groupers. Interesting, EA. Interesting. I kind of like their color scheme though, the little light blue, dark blue combo. Looks pretty dope. But enough admiration for the ops, we're here to win a football game. Vadiano's gonna try to throw, he's hit as he throws, and he's injured. Well, that's a great start to the season. Luckily, he's okay to come back into the next drive. Here's a throw over the middle, and he finds Cameron Lacey getting the first. So now 2nd and 6. Vadiano throws over the middle. That's going to be completed. It's Amorion Walker getting the first down inside the 20. And then on 2nd and goal, Vadiano drops back. He rolls to his left. He finds some space, and he's going to punch it in for the first touchdown of the series. We're into the second quarter now. Our defense is really locked in, but our offensive line hasn't so far. FCS Southeast is like really an option run team. All they pretty much do is run the football. Speaking of running the ball, Middlebrook with a nice run there. But they really haven't passed a whole lot, so I don't want to bore you by showing their offensive possessions. But what an overthrow by Vadiano. Sheesh. We got to take our sorry little 3 points here to make it 10-0. Now 2:05 to go, 3rd and 7, Vadiano, bust down Vadiano, he goes left side, he completes it for the 1:29 to go, we're trying to get some more points on the board, this man just dumps it off right side to Lacey, and Lacey leapfrogs a defender and he picks up the first up to the 23. So we got a chance at some kind of points here, but then Vadiano's hit as he throws and he's going to get picked. And had it not been for Amorion Walker, we would have given up a pick 6. Instead, we hold him to 3 and they make it a 10-3 ball game. So now we have 8 seconds left to do something here. And in the words of the homie Blackjack, when you yeet, you win. Touchdown Amorion Walker. He just absolutely cooked that corner right there. So we go into halftime up 17-3, which still feels a little disappointing. Amorion Walker's having a pretty good game though, 5 catches, 114 and a touchdown. But now we really got to lock in and stop playing around with these fools. And I'd say giving up a big run like this probably is a step in the wrong direction. Are we really about to let these fools make it a 1-score game? Well, they're running on 3rd and 10, so I guess not. I kid you not, I think they've thrown 1 pass so far in this game. 17-6 now, and we still cannot protect the quarterback. Vadiano is going to have a rough season if this is the protection he's getting against an FCS school. And throws like the last one are definitely signs of him being shook, but he completes it over the middle to Walker here. And last play of the quarter, and once again, when you yeet, you win. Amorion Walker's having a day today. So we're up by 18 now, and now they're actually throwing the football, but we get a sack. I like that. Now 3rd and 3, we get another one. Maybe that's why they're not passing the ball. 4th and 8, they probably have to throw it here, and on the run, he completes it over the middle. What a throw. I chalk that up to just a defensive breakdown there, and we get another sack. This time, Bynum gets him. So I'm thinking maybe it's one of those things that either he completes a pass or he gets sacked. As he gets sacked again, it's Bynum one more time. 4th and 21. They're going to try to complete it. He has time, but he gets sacked for a 5th time on this drive. That's crazy, giving up 5 sacks on a drive as Vadiano gets sacked now. I have a very hard time believing that we're going to get away with this level of play against teams like Wisconsin, but it is good enough to get around a team like FCS Southeast as we go up 21. Now viewer, usually a content creator shows a kickoff when one of the following things happen. A kick return touchdown, B, a turnover, or C, a Bigfoot sighting. Can you guess which one happens here? Pause a moment and leave a comment down below to tell me what you think happened here. Well, here's the return, and boom! If your guess was B, you were correct. I thought it was funny, at least. Here's a throw over the middle, and that's another completion for a touchdown to Amorian Walker. We really only have that guy for one season, and he's been kind of a baller, as we force another fumble, and we pick this one up as well. So now the score is starting to get closer to what it should have probably been in the first place. Nice run by Cradell. And now 3rd and goal, little read option action, and Vadiano gets bust down, and he's hurt. I knew I should have taken him out. We're just going to settle for our sorry little 3 points here. Luckily, Vadiano isn't seriously hurt. Wasn't the blowout that it probably should have been, but hey, I'll take the win, 37-6, and Amorian Walker, 8 catches, 176, and 3 touchdowns. Kind of a weird day for Vadiano. He went 19 of 31, 284, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. He also ran for a touchdown, as Middlebrook had the most yards with 41 yards on 8 carries. We already talked about Walker. Once again, 8 catches, 176, and 3 touchdowns. Our left guard had 9 pancakes. Goodness. Our defense played pretty lights out in this one, as they probably should have. Bynum had 8 TFLs. Good lord. He had a sack and a half, as did Woods, and then Parker Hughes had 2 sacks. Anthony Bynum was the Defensive Player of the Week for Conference USA with his performance, and Conference USA Offensive Player of the Week was Amorian Walker. Well, as you could probably tell, Middle Tennessee State being one of the worst teams last season, recruiting is going to be relatively tough as we look at Pierre Goss right now, who's a dual threat athlete. I'm assuming he can play quarterback. He's already ready for a visit though. But recruiting is going to be pretty tough for us for the first 2 seasons, but I will definitely try my best to get them locked in. But if you guys want to see me do a deeper dive in recruiting for the next video or the video after that, let me know in the comment section below. We got a tough one next video as we take on Wisconsin, and videos will be a lot longer after this one. I just was kind of strapped for time and had to get this out to you all. But leave a comment down below on what your score prediction for this game against Wisconsin is. Hit the like button, hit the sub button if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.